Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, we're back again, folks. Good morning and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. And another beautiful Saturday. Our camera lady over here, Emerald, and I were on our way over here from Ripley, and we have to pull the visors down and put on the shades. It was gorgeous. Hope you're all doing well. We got a good show in store for you. We're going to be talking about some alternatives in housing. If you've been studying the housing market these days, it's kind of crazy out there, but we're going to talk to some folks that might have an idea for you, so stick around. I think you're going to enjoy the show. I want to say good morning to everybody around the world. As you know, we stream live. Hello, Ukraine. Hello, Miami, Florida. Chip DePietro's watching down there from time to time. Natalia over in the Ukraine, they've been watching right along and sending us little notes, so glad you could join us. Folks all over the country, and well, I don't know who's watching today, so you never know. I want to say good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for joining us. It's always good to be able to get to our friends in the Jamestown area, because a lot of things that we talk about are just as important on this side of the county as it is on your side of the county. Hey, we're live. Did you know that? And we're live from 9 to 10 every Saturday morning. And if you want to give us a call and say hi, you want to ask a question of my guest, have an announcement or whatever, it's 716-753-5225. Randy's on the other end of the line. He'll take your call, and magically through technology, they pump you through our speakers and we can talk to you live. If you're shy, you could just give Randy the information. From time to time, they do give me little notes about event that's taking place and so forth, and we'll get it on the air for you free of charge. Okay? I always talk about music, don't I? Well, I've been watching Facebook, and I can't believe the whole music scene in Chautauqua County is like just blown right up. There are bands I've never even heard of that are playing out there now, which is so cool, because I've always said that we're so blessed to have so many great musicians and bands and poets and writers and theater and dance and gosh, just every side of the fine arts. Anyways, there's two bands that I know that are playing today. My friends, the Probables, are going to be playing over the Roger Tory Peterson Institute from 1 to 4. The guys and I, we played there earlier this summer. Great venue, and if you're over there, check them out. My band has had the pleasure to open for them, and Cynde, I don't know if you know this, but Adam McKillop, he fills in for me when I can't play with my band. Adam goes everywhere. And then my band will be playing up at the Cherry Creek VFW tonight from 6 to whenever they kick us out. That's how the VFWs work. You never know. Oh, they might kick us out early, I don't know. But we're going to be at the Cherry Creek VFW from 6 to 8 anyways, and so we're looking forward to going out there, and we're going to be at the Trillium later on. I think it's next week. I can't remember. Maybe the following week. But anyway, music everywhere. And where am I going with that is Chautauqua County has kayaking. We have the wine trail. We've got camping, hiking. What a great place to live. I was talking with my guests earlier. We both hailed from the west side of Buffalo. And growing up, this was nothing I experienced living in Chautauqua County as a kid. It's just gorgeous to be here. And, you know, city life is wonderful, but so is the rural life. And just so blessed to be here in Chautauqua County myself. Anyways, I love it here. All right. Getting back to if you call in, if you do have an announcement, don't hesitate to give us the information. It could be a chicken barbecue. It could be upcoming community, what do they call those, yard sales and things like that. It doesn't matter. And then if you have a question for my guest, you know the rule. Got to be nice, or else you're gone. Okay. We have some announcements I want to share with you, and then we're going to get to my guests who are anxiously waiting to get on TV. I can tell you yeah. And so let's go. We're going to start out here with, who am I starting with here? The Reg Lene. You got some kids' movies coming up, so let's pop that up. Some of my favorite characters there. First, you have Marcel the Shell with shoes on and the Minions. All right, so there's two different pictures in there. There's a little guy named Marcel the Shell. I don't know anything about them. But Minions, I think I've watched all the Minion shows 100 times. The Minions is called The Rise of Gru. He's the main character there. To show the Reg Lene Center for the Arts, Marcel the Shell with shoes, say that 10 times fast, Dom, is going to be shown on Wednesday, August 24th at 7 p.m. It is an adorable 1-inch tall shell who ekes out a colorful existence with his grandmother, Connie, and their pet, Lint, called Alan. I'm not making this up. Once part of the sprawling community of shells, they now live alone as the sole survivors of a mysterious tragedy. But when a documentary filmmaker discovers them amongst the clutter of his Airbnb, the short film he posts online brings Marcel millions of passionate fans, as well as unprecedented dangers and new hope at finding his long-lost family. A beloved character gets his big screen debut in this hilarious and heartwarming story about finding connection in the smallest corners. Marcel the Shell with Shoes on is rated PG and is 89 minutes long. I'm going to say that 10 times. No, I won't either. Marcel the Shell with Shoes on. Susie Shell. All right. In Minions, The Rise of Gru is going to be shown on Friday, August 26th at 7 p.m. And a sensory-friendly showing will be on Saturday, August 27th at 2 p.m. The future villain is just a 12-year-old boy in the 1970s suburbia, plotting to take over the world from his basement. It's not going particularly well when Gru crosses paths with the Minions, including Kevin, Stuart, Bob, and Otto. He's a new Minion, sporting braces and a desperate need to please. This unexpected family joins forces. Together they build their first lair, design their first weapons, and strive to execute their first missions. Minions, The Rise of Gru is rated PG and is 87 minutes long. Sensory-friendly showings are presented with the volume set lower and the lights in the theater set a little bit higher for patrons with sensitivity issues. Sometimes it's a little scary for kids in there, huh? Movement around the theater is encouraged as needed. Ideal first movie experience for toddlers. Okay. Movies at the Ridge are sponsored by Silver Tree Seniors of Jamestown and Family Health Medical Services. Tickets to the movies at the Ridge are $7 for movies and $6 for family films, with an additional $1 theater restoration fee added. They may be purchased from 12 to 5 p.m. Monday and Friday, and 12 to 8 p.m. Wednesdays at the box office, or you can give them a call at 484-7070, or go online, RegLene, all one word.com. Sounds like a lot of fun, especially this time of year. All right, we're still at the Reg. Let's go to the next slide. Mark your calendar. Here we go. I got to do my best pronunciation of names. This shouldn't be too bad because this is in part of my genes. The Magic of Michael Grandanetti features breathtaking wonders from Michael's extraordinary career right before your very eyes. Legendary magic plots of levitation, escape, sawing in half, teleportation, and more are reimagined for today's audiences, making them more visual, surprising, and even more astounding than ever before. However, audiences don't just watch the magic, they're pulled into the interactive experience, which everyone in the theater becomes part of the magic. We should go, and I think we take Randy and we get him sawed in half.
Okay.
All right, we have an amen there. By blurring the line between illusion and reality in a groundbreaking yet personable way, Michael Grandanetti gives his audiences an engaging, entertaining, and one-of-a-kind experience they'll never forget. Admission requirements are subject to change. The Magic of Michael Grandanetti will be held on September 17th at 7:30 p.m., so mark your calendar. Buy your tickets now, they're saying. Of course, again, the box office are the same. The phone number is 484-7070, and it's going to be live. Okay, nothing canned. All right, let's go on to things that are going on throughout the county. Weekend events, August 20th, which is today, Beach Bash from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Wright Park over in Dunkirk on Lakefront Boulevard. This family-friendly event will feature basketball, volleyball, pickleball tournament, kids activities, sandcastle building, competitions, water balloon toss, and live music. The event will conclude with an outdoor showing of the movie Surf's Up at dusk. I wonder if that's an F. Funicello movie. For more information, give them a call at 366-9886. So that's fun on the beach. And then we got an 80s glow party from 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. at Peak and Peak tonight. Over in Clymer, enjoy an 80s themed pool party at the outdoor pool complex with guest DJ and food. Admission is $25 per person or $10 per hotel guest or member. Give them a call at 355-4141 for more information. This is a new one. This just started. The City of Jamestown Disc Golf Course, it's new to me, at Bergman Park is now officially open. The course currently has 12 holes, with an additional 6 to make up a full 18-hole course expected to open in the spring of 23. So they got 12, going to have 6 more. The course utilizes many of the underused open areas of the park, as well as some of the wooden areas around Bergman Park. A map and ability to keep track of scoring can be found at, contact the city for that one. It is way too long for me to repeat it. Tournaments and leagues will be regularly held on the course, and playing on the course is free of charge. Jamestown Parks Manager Dan Stone says the following: "We are very excited to offer more recreational opportunities to residents. Having a high-quality disc golf course only enhances what we provide to residents and will draw people from all over the region to play." Mayor Eddie Sundquist says, "Adding more options for recreation for our residents is a major priority for my administration. Disc golf is affordable fun for the whole family, and we are excited that we are able to have a course that will appeal to the beginner." Excuse me, I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing at something off camera. "That will appeal to beginners and experienced disc golfers alike." So I'm assuming this is Frisbees. All right, that's what it looks like. I've seen this on TV. It looks like a lot of fun. Local disc golf ambassador Frank Bess, who was instrumental in making the course a reality, said, it's been great to work with the city to develop the fun and dynamic amenity. This course will be a focal point for local disc golf folks." The city also partnered with Twin Tiers Disc Golf to apply for funding from the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation to secure funding for disc and portable baskets for the summer playground recreation program. We are excited to be spreading disc golf throughout the region through strategic partnerships with Twin Tier Disc Golf. according to their president, Rich Longer. I might have to get him on the show to find out how to do this. All right, and finally, and we have talked a little bit about this the last few weeks. We're going to say hello, and I got this, I'm assuming, from Stephanie Stevens over at the Westfield YWCA. She says, I want to introduce to you someone important to her. Her name is Natalia, and her friends call her Natasha. She is the founder and president of the YWCA in the Ukraine, and she's been in touch with her since the beginning of the war. This woman has been surviving, sometimes in a bunker underground, in the midst of war. She has been doing everything she can to help women and children seek refuge and leave the most dangerous areas. As fuel becomes scarce, there are no longer many options for leaving, and instead, people are remaining where they are and trying to stay safe from the violence. It is a struggle to get basic needs for the families, such as food and medicine and emergency supplies. Prices are soaring and critical items become difficult to find. Stephanie is inspired by Natasha's courage. She's committed to staying and helping in her community. Stephanie is inviting you to join her in supporting the efforts by making a generous gift now. My eyes play tricks on me sometimes. 100% of your gift will go directly to the YWCA Ukraine to meet the most urgent basic needs of women and children. It's not every day that someone is asking for your help in saving lives, but that is what they're doing at the Westfield YWCA. You can make an incredible difference by making a gift today in support of women, children in Ukraine. And as it turns out, Natasha and I are friends on Facebook, and we write back and forth once in a while, and I know she watches the show, so good afternoon, Natasha, I think it is in the Ukraine. So folks, there you have the announcements for today. If you would like to put in an announcement, we'll be happy to read yours as well. We're going to take a little breather, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Okay, folks, we're back. I got to tell you a little story. 8 years ago and some, I was the anchor man, if you will, for Reed Powers. And Reed got sick, as many of you know, that used to watch the show. And said, you got to cover the show today. And I said, okay. And I had no idea who I was going to be talking to. And in walked a couple guys from a company called Owl Homes. And we just started talking. And we did the show, and the rest was history. Well, then a couple months ago, the band and I were playing over at the Big Inlet, and this gentleman comes up to me that looked vaguely familiar, but had lost weight, a lot of weight. And he reintroduced himself, and we were talking. I said, well, you come on the show again. So Dominic, Bellanti, and I started chatting, and he's here with his son, Nick, and Cynde Johnson, who's been on the show before, wearing a different hat. But anyways, welcome to the show, guys. And I'm glad we ran into each other now. That was so cool.
Yeah, so on my end, it was a great day. Your band was very entertaining.
Thank you.
Do a great job, and thank you so much for having us today.
Absolutely. So 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
That doesn't seem possible.
That does not seem possible.
Yeah, and sadly, shortly after you and I talked on the air, Reed did pass away from cancer. But doors open and closed, and here we are. So you brought your son Nick, and you kind of look like your dad a little bit. You got a little bit of beard there.
I got a little bit of both sides in me. So.
Okay. So you guys are with Owl Homes. So let's start with Dom. And how'd you get into the business? How long you been with it? And what is it?
Well, Owl Homes of Fredonia. We're a manufactured home company. Mm-hmm. We sell single wide mobile homes, double wides, as the public would know, and modular homes.
So 3 types.
3 types. Modular homes are identical to if you were to hire a construction company to stick build you a home, to all, and if it was in New York State, to New York State specifications. If we were building in Pennsylvania, the modular product would be built to the Pennsylvania state codes.
Right.
Excuse me. And I've been in the business now for a little over 30 years. I started 30 years ago as a subcontractor for Owl Homes of Fredonia. Actually, I was the helper of a contracting company.
We all start somewhere.
You know, he handed me a hammer one day, and I wasn't quite sure what end of the hammer to use, but we figured it out, and I became an employee of the company in the early 90s, and met Nick's mom in the mid 80s, and we got married and decided to have children, and I thought it was time to, get a real job. So Al Holmes was kind enough to hire me at the time, and ran their service department. From the service department, I dabbled into sales a little bit, was wearing a few hats, and then became the sales manager. From sales manager, they promoted me to the corporate vice president. And then in 2003, my predecessor, Walter Doyle, who was the W of OWL. OWL was formed back over 50 years ago by three gentlemen, Orville Brown, Lenny Brown, and Walter Doyle. So they took the initials from
I did not know that.
They took the initials from their first names, and they formed Owl Homes of Fredonia. There were two locations at the time, one in the southern tier, and then one in Chautauqua County. After they promoted me to the corporate vice president in 2003, like I said, Walter retired, and I was fortunate enough to be able to purchase the company, and here we are about 17 years later.
To turn a musical note, I call that the Willie Nelson effect. If you play long enough and stay there long enough, you'll be famous.
There you go. Not sure about that, but here we are today.
You just got to stay alive. Just keep going, and sooner or later, you stay in the business, you'll get there. Keith Richards, same way the Rolling Stones. I mean, just keep going. Okay, so Nick, how'd you get involved?
Yeah, so I throughout childhood always came around and would help Dad around the lot and around the place, and a lot's changed since I was a kid, and I, started off working in the field for Owl Homes. So before I ever really saw the office, I got out in the field and I started being involved in setting the homes and, everything that we do in the field from excavation to just everything, utilities. I mean,
and that's so important that you understand from what everybody does in the process. It's
getting into it in the office now as a consultant who works directly with clients to build them homes and facilitate the whole process. I mean, I feel like it sped up the process in learning that position by substantially having done that before. So yeah, definitely. So I've been doing this officially as a consultant in the office, working with individuals for almost 6 years now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And Cynde, how long have you been with the company now?
Just a little over a year.
Okay, because last time you were here, you weren't with them, I don't think, were you?
Yeah, I do believe I was with them.
Just
starting?
starting
off. Yeah.
Okay, so 1 year. So what's your role
I'm
there?
involved in a lot. So I'm the office manager. I help keep everybody in line and organized and help the flow of things go. We are extremely busy. So
Okay. Hold on, I have a technical question.
Sure.
Is your microphone on the inside or outside of your little jacket there? There we go.
There you go.
Evidently was muted. Okay, so let's start that role again.
Okay.
So your role is office manager,
I'm
and
the
what do you do?
office
Is that
manager,
better,
yep.
Jeff? All right, I guess it is. Okay,
that's good?
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
So I'm the office manager. I just help the flow of the office. I've been with the company for a little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Okay.
She's
And
modest. She does a lot.
office managers are like everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surrounded by fantastic people, and I'm very thankful for that. But Cynde has been a fantastic addition and absolutely a huge asset to our
Does
organization.
she run around with a whip? Usually office managers got whips.
Not
Maybe
really.
we should get her one.
In a very subtle way. Yes, she does.
And doesn't care what your title is, right?
That-
Where is this invoice, Dom? You told me, Nick, 2 days ago you were gonna, right? She's on here.
There's no time to mess around.
Okay. So how many people do work for your company?
We have, I believe there's 13 or 14 of us directly working on payroll every day. And then I'd have to guess that we have 20-ish subcontractors that primarily work
Oh,
for
wow.
our company on a daily and weekly basis.
So if you need a plumber, you can bring in a plumber. If you need a whatever, you bring in a whatever. Okay.
Yes,
Very
yes,
cool.
yes.
That's smart business.
And we are hiring,
You are.
right?
You can talk about that, that's fine.
Yeah,
What are you looking for?
right now we're looking for, in the construction field, a couple of good individuals to possibly join our office staff and one or two in the field. From a cider to, a carpenter to drywaller, but just basic general construction.
Someone that you can
Yes.
teach and bring them.
Somebody that wants to work and join a great team and have some good benefits for their family and.
Yeah. That's the anthem I hear everywhere, or mantra or whatever. People are looking for workers everywhere. I don't care what field it is. I don't know of anybody right now that is fully staffed.
That's crazy.
No one.
That's what's going
You know,
on.
restaurants, they're the poor waitresses are double timing it, or carpenter. You can't find half the people in need, or they're call me in a year. They're so backed up because of the pandemic. Everything got backed up and stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the field of housing right now. So to me, it's been like feast or famine. I kind of watch things over the years, and knowing members of my family that have either bought houses or thought about buying houses, it's like crazy. I mean, people will dive bomb on a house and like 10 people will bid, and they will bid higher than the asking price.
Yeah.
And then 9 out of 10 people don't get a house. And because there's a shortage of houses, perhaps, that are on the market right now. So you offer an alternative, and that's how I introduced this concept. It is a different idea of, instead of trying to fight over a house, you could get your own house. Right?
Yeah.
So who wants to start? Where do we start? So let's just say there's somebody that's maybe wanting to get a bigger house. Someone wants to downsize. I mean, you must have all different scenarios, right?
Yeah. I mean, to touch on what you just said, it is the real estate market is crazy. Not to get too deep into it, but there's not much regulation that surrounds used housing, the real estate market. So prices can be anywhere, and that's what we're seeing today. In new housing, new construction, there's a lot more regulation behind the industry. So just in the beginning of the process, it's a more trusting process as a whole.
Who regulates it?
Well, it's just there's appraising involved. There's people need to be financed on this new construction, and it's just you can touch more on this, but it's just
Is it a government organization? Who
Yeah,
comes in?
and Nick, I'll let you continue, but our manufactured homes, which the public knows as single wides and double wides, are built to all HUD specifications. Okay.
And that's federal government.
That's federal government, and our modular product is built to all state specifications.
Okay.
Both products are built in a controlled environment manufacturing facility. All of our products come from the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. So when something's being built in Pennsylvania to New York State spec, do they get like a stamp of approval? Does an inspector come in? I'm saying this because people are watching on the other side of the screen right now
Sure.
thinking this.
Yeah.
So how's that work?
The process is a stack of blueprints about so thick, and they are all, each individual page, every part of the house is gone over by a New York State architect,
Okay. And they stamp
engineer, and they
stamp
put
the prints,
they
right.
put their stamp on it,
Right.
and then that will go to local zoning for approval,
Okay.
to the consumer.
And so when we say local zoning, we're talking about your zoning officer in our villages and towns and cities.
Exactly.
And that's the typical process if you're gonna build anything.
Yes.
Even if you put a porch on your house, you gotta
Yeah.
get the zoning officer involved, the inspection. Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So everything is inspected and stamped, even on our HUD product. Before we can break ground, we have to provide foundation architecturally stamped foundation plans.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So everybody, all agencies are looking out for the public today.
Perfect, okay. Because it was some real substandard construction
Year-
years ago.
When I started, it was substandard.
Yeah.
Today it's maybe, I don't want to call it an overkill, but everybody's protected from all ends.
Yeah, you know, I know of a situation not far from here, and I don't even know when it was built, but the basement was extremely substandard, and people bought the house in good faith and then ended up having to do a lot of reconstruction on that basement. So, and, you know, it was one of those do-it-yourself kind of a things,
Yeah.
and nobody knew it. All right, so getting back to you. So, day one, somebody says, I want to get out of my house, or I want to buy a house or build a house. What do they do?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we're in a really cool location here in Fredonia, where we're right on that cusp of Chautauqua and Erie County, as well as Cattaraugus County and so on. So it's, as far as code and construction, it's like almost two different worlds. We have to be versatile and be able to deal with clients from Erie and Niagara County, which are completely different building standards.
You get up in Niagara County?
Yeah, we do all of Western New York.
No wonder you're busy.
Yeah, yeah. So it's it's a totally different world. When somebody comes to us from Erie and Niagara County, we have to be prepared to present a state code construction to them, because the codes are just very strict up there. And truly, I think it's due to just kind of lack of education by just government officials across Western New York, just not really understanding what this HUD product is today. These homes are beautiful ranch homes that can be ordered with, just looking very aesthetically pleasing from the road, be set on full basements, full foundations. So it's something that I've been trying to push for up in Erie and Niagara County and in a lot of the areas up there, to be allowed to go on private property. I think it's something that will develop over time. So that's the first thing, is when somebody comes in, we have to figure out where they're from, where they're looking for land, where that land is, and based upon that, offer the options that we can provide.
All right, so here's a good question for you. So you mentioned 4 counties. Where's the best price for land? Overall.
That's a pretty good real estate question, and we're new construction. We're definitely not real estate, so I'm not a professional in that. But I mean, historically, Chautauqua County down in the southern tier, land gets cheaper as you go farther from the city. I think that we can.
I think that's
agree
fair
on
enough.
that.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what something people got to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Is that you got to shop around a little bit too,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
get away from urban Buffalo or Jamestown or wherever.
Yeah.
And not slamming the cities. It's just cheaper if you get away, because people want to be close to the city. They don't want to be close to the city, but I remember when we bought our property, the land was really quite reasonable, but it's starting to get up there now.
Yeah, yeah. So what we do to continue forward, I guess,
Yeah,
with your
sure.
question was, we determine what options we can give somebody as far as what houses. I mean, we have so many options to pick from, and we are good at narrowing it down for people. But yeah, and then we'll write them up a package. I mean, we offer a turnkey operation, so essentially we'll be assessing their site from what does it need for sewer, water, electric, how far off the road, how far is the driveway going to be. We assess all these things. What kind of foundation requirement is there going to be?
Okay. So you got to deal with a lot of the right in the village zones or the town zoning rules.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's setbacks from the road.
We got to know these like the back of our hand.
Okay, so before we get too far into this,
Yeah.
how big of a piece of land do you need?
Yeah, that's a good question. That also depends on the township and zonings. Some real tight areas don't require very much land at all. You could have a quarter of an acre practically and be allowed to build on it. Other places in the country, I mean, I've seen even on the outskirts of Fredonia, I think towns like even Pomfret, I could be incorrect on that, but some places will require 200 feet of road frontage attached to your property in order for you to be able to build. You could probably go for a variance in most cases and get it approved, but yeah, that's...
All right, so a word to the wise here is, before you buy your land and you're thinking about going with anybody,
Yeah.
regardless of who it is, find out what the rules are.
Yeah.
You know, because you could get this skinny little piece of property thinking, oh, this is, what a good deal. I just spent $10,000 on this lot.
Yeah.
Now I can't build on it because you have right-of-ways and you've got variances and setbacks. And by the time you're done, you can build a treehouse. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not being facetious now because I know that's the case. So you got to be careful.
It's, you know, that what you just said is really important because I think that it's the fear of the unknown. I mean, what do you do when you're going at a piece of land you don't even know the process? So that's kind of what I have focused on for almost 6 years now with just individuals who come into the office. You know, people shouldn't, you know, have to go to the existing real estate market and look for a house. Everybody should be just as knowing on how to do that process and how to build new. And they're not, because it's really important when you're building new to be able to work with a consultant like myself who's going to be very transparent with you and really explain this process and tell you what you need to do. And I think that there's just not enough of that goes on. So I think that if a lot more people understood the process and really how smooth it can be, they'd be more apt to get involved in new construction.
Now, I know a lot of people that are watching may be interested in building, but they go, oh God, sewer and septic, and how do I do the electrical, and how big of a this and that? I mean, do you help them with all that too?
Absolutely, yeah. We have worked diligently over the course of especially the past couple of years with these crazy price changes. You know, not only in the houses, crazy price changes, it's in the field. Everybody that does work in the field. So, you know, we're constantly doing jobs, we're constantly getting bills back from contractors, so we have a very good pricing system where, you know, from the time, if somebody comes into our office with land, even a lot of cases without it, I mean, we can give a very realistic total project approximate price for these people. If I can just narrow down approximately what size home they want, then I can give them that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, Cynde, do you get involved with the financing of the homes, or?
I help assist with it. Yeah, we do have our finance manager, Del Bowser. He's been a banker affiliated with that source of business for over 30 years. So he's pretty established with logistics and what people can do and how to establish a debt to income ratio and type of thing. So, but I do help him out with that. Yeah.
Because I know I look at the rates for mortgages right now and going like, oh my God, you know, if I could have had that rate, you know, 30 years ago when we built our house, I could have built a mansion. Of course, the mansion probably would have been 10 times more expensive because the rate was low. But the point is that, I mean, I think I built my house at 10%, and now like, I don't know, 4% or something like that. It's like, wow. So it's a good time to build or buy or whatever, right?
It is. And, you know, another thing with that is, you know, historically, I mean, in the past couple of years, I mean, we saw the real estate market be closer to the cost of new construction than ever. So that I think has a big, you know, to do with how busy we've been in the past couple of years.
So, Dom, what about material flow and postponements and sluggish parts that you can't get? I mean, I hear that whether it's chicken wings or pieces of wood. I mean, I don't care what it is. Everybody says they can't get the stuff to do their jobs. Is that a problem these days?
Certainly. As we know, the pandemic has changed the world.
Right.
All businesses, all industries, and our lives. And I'm happy to say today that things are coming back around.
Yeah, I agree.
Prices are starting to level off a little bit. We're the supply chain is opening up, and we on one of our particular product lines, the Commodore product, we were 12 to 16 months out from ordering a home to getting it, and today we're back down to 3 to 4 months.
Really?
Being able to get a house.
From start to finish?
From day of order to receiving the home to the property.
Gotcha.
And that follows through with the other 4 or 5 products that we do sell. So things are loosening up, but through the past 2.5 years, it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle.
Well, congratulations that you still hung in there.
But we're hanging in there, and we're fighting hard for our customer every day. And
good. Well, I remember, of course, people were being facetious online, but they would post a picture of a sheet of plywood, and they were willing to trade it for a car. I mean,
sure.
I mean, it was just the prices were just through the roof. But you're saying it's come down now, right?
It's come down.
Everything's come
down. Not a lot, but at least it's going in the right direction.
Right. Wow. So right now, what's the biggest challenge to someone that wants to buy or build a home?
Biggest challenge,
Having good credit, maybe?
yeah, I mean, I think, once again, I think the biggest challenge is just understanding and knowing the process. And, you know, we just make, you know, things as easy as possible for people. You know, it's as simple as somebody, you know, having a at least hypothetical place to build, you know, coming and getting a turnkey project, you know, quote, so that you can actually take it to a lender or let us help you, you know, with recommendations, and then, you know, be able to actually go see what that package is going to look like as far as a monthly payment and a down payment. And I think that that's just the step that a lot of people need to take in order to know if they can do something. So
So Cynde, what's your role with the customer? And I'm going to come back to you in a second.
yeah.
I pretty much assist with them from the time that they connect with our company. You know, I'm the face that they see when they walk in the door. I answer a lot of the questions that Nick had touched on, and, you know, kind of just guide them to start and then potentially to finish. So
Okay, so a lot of times you're the voice on the other end of the line that says, I need to talk to Dom now. Where's Nick? He said he was going to. I'll get him.
now everyone's really great, and you know, we do see just an array of customers. Like you just have that person that's like, I have never done this before.
Right.
Can you please help me?
Yeah.
And that's what we're there for.
Excellent.
We'll totally help you from start to finish.
Okay,
so.
we have a phone call. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know who it is. We'll find out. Good morning, caller.
Well, good morning, Doc, and good morning, Cynde, and everybody else from your
Good
group. It's great to hear what you have to say, and I do know that Owl Homes, from what I have heard and seen, has an excellent reputation around here.
Wait a minute. Did they pay you to say that, Linda?
No, really, I
All
know
right. That was a Jimi Hendrix moment there.
But congratulations for what you're doing, and with the HUD housing, we really do need more subsidized housing. We really do.
Linda speaks to this issue because you used to work for, go ahead.
Well, I used to work for the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging. I also used to work for Chautauqua Opportunities Incorporated for 20 years. And I won't go on the list of all the things.
We don't have enough time. But you saw that with a lot of folks that you worked with, right, Lynn?
Yes, and I just read an excellent book. It's called Eviction, and it's a new book. It's on our CLSC list here in Chautauqua. It's our library club here. And everybody should read that because it is very, very interesting. And the author went and disguised himself and lived in substandard housing.
Oh, boy.
And he presented the viewpoint of the people, the tenants, and the landlords. Very informative. But congratulations on what you're doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
As
much.
a cheerleader. Thanks, Lynn. You take care.
Okay, have a great weekend and week.
You too.
You too.
All right, thanks for
Bye-bye.
calling. Bye-bye. You know, I was just thinking what Lynn was saying, and I was thinking when we were talking about Natasha in Ukraine. I mean, what you all do, I mean, if you could pick up your business and take it to the Ukraine, you know, when it's peacetime again, you guys would serve such a deserving population, you know?
Yeah, wow.
And-
That's a great thought.
But I mean, we don't think about good housing sometimes. We think about, you know, our own homes, and, you know, most of us live in pretty decent homes. But there's a group of people, I'm sure you know, that are living in places that are dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, especially like in the wintertime and things like, you know, with the heaters and things like that. So, yeah.
You asked a question about what's our biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
The misconception of HUD housing.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Years ago, back in the mobile, they used to call them trailers.
Yeah.
Okay, everything built after, I believe it was 1976, had to be built to HUD standards, and we've evolved into a stick builder today. We're contractors. The famous question is how long will one of these homes last? Well, folks, our homes are real houses.
Real houses.
And the HUD product, and they're built with real wood, and they're going to last you for a lifetime, as long as, like anything else, as long as you take care of it and maintain it, it will last.
I think some of those early houses were like those skimpy little walls.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
Little hardly any
That's
insulation, stuff like that.
Long gone.
But we do encourage, if you are septic or curious, please stop and check them out. We have them there to touch, feel, see, walk through.
Okay, I just got a question in my earpiece about, let's talk about sizes. I mean, I guess you can make them as big as you want, but let's start with the single wide. So what sizes are those?
Yeah,
about?
I mean, you can get them very, very small. Something about size is a lot of people see like the tiny homes and stuff nowadays, and the sad part about that is that there's zoning laws in majority of
Square
places.
footage minimum.
And they're not cheap.
Yeah.
They're like $100,000.
So
They are.
a lot of them
Yeah.
are like 400 or 500 square feet, and,
Yeah.
and you know, in most zip codes in Western New York,
There would be a
anyhow.
murder in our house, I'm sure. of it.
Yeah, it's small.
Probably me.
Yeah, so there's minimum square footage requirements, like he was saying, and but yeah, we can do. I mean, we just sold a one bedroom single section home. It was really nice, a little house called the Hickory, and so yeah, people buy them.
So
two
how
bedrooms,
long,
3
how
bedrooms.
wide are those?
So the maximum length that these factories produce is 76 feet long, the home.
76 foot.
So I think if you were to order the max size home, which is a 31 by 76, and the designs can get pretty cool depending on what kind of home you go with, I think that one floor can be approximately 2,300 square feet. So you end up putting that on a full
pretty
basement. And I wouldn't encourage everybody to start there today because of the times we're in. I mean, we have some really great floor plans that feel really big in the mid thousands, in square as far as square
So
footage.
a single wide is just a straight line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So we do quite a few of those. We do a lot of double section homes.
So let's talk about that. What does that mean?
Yeah, double section home. So it's a ranch home. It's a ranch home. It comes in 2 sections. They get put together, and you have a nice deep home, and it feels like a home.
Just an average, like how long and how wide?
Yeah. So
Well, I'm sure they got to be just so wide because you can't
Yeah.
transport them on
Yeah.
the throughway unless you have.
The typical size are technically 14 wide modules. So
28 by something.
So 28 by however long you decide to go. A pretty typical size is, 48 feet. That would be like a 1,300 square foot ranch home. People go to 52, 56 feet. That gets you up a little bit more. 60 feet gets you up to 1,600. And yeah. Factories today and builders today, they are really shrinking their average size of floor plan, going to a more economical style for today, but still coming out with good plans that have adequate space in them.
So will they make it 76 feet long as well?
Yeah.
So whatever you want?
Yeah, we've built homes that are 76 feet long. A couple factories only go up to 72. One will only go up to 66. So something that he said earlier is throughout the whole pandemic, supply issues, he doesn't take enough credit because we're definitely one builder out of everybody that he gained us access to multiple different factories throughout this, and it's helped us greatly. So that's why I'm saying we have a lot of options with different factories.
All right, I think we have some pictures, so let's
Yeah.
talk about those pictures so people get an idea what the house might look like in the factory. But let's run through the pictures real quick, Jeff, from the beginning with like a foundation, and then just narrate, and we can just click right along.
Sure.
So you're located in Fredonia.
Yeah.
Are you still like at the intersection there?
Yeah, we're
60 and 20?
next door to Country Fair.
Okay.
Yep, Route 60 and 20,
Okay.
3752 East Main Road.
And you have models there?
Yes, we are the largest campus that houses manufactured and modular homes in the entire Western New York area.
Wow, okay. So there's the typical floor plan, and now this is a single?
Yeah, so this is a double wide.
That's a double wide.
This is a Richland Elite home through our Commodore Home factory, and this is a 1,600 square foot plan, so good example here. And this is a home that will come with full drywall and molding packages, standard, with flat 8-foot ceilings. And this is what back in the day people called trailers, so it's nothing like that today.
Is it on axles?
They will be removed and hauled away permanently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now can you put that on a basement?
Absolutely. Full basement stairwell going down to it.
Wow.
Yeah, you would never guess, by the time we're done with it, you could never guess it was a quote-unquote manufactured home or what have you.
Okay. All right, so, where's this? This is one of the houses?
Yeah, so that's actually a picture out of a home called the Leland, which is through our factory Manorwood Homes. And beautiful, beautiful triple section home.
So now this is double wide?
This is a modular.
This is state code modular.
All right, this is, all right, so the single wide comes like in one piece?
Yep.
The double wide comes in two pieces?
Yes, and modular homes do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff, come back to that picture for a second, could you? I want to just chat about that for a sec. Okay, for those that are listening on the radio right now, I'm looking into this room that's a kitchen, like a great room. It's got like a kitchen and then a sitting area, and then you're looking into like the living room, I guess. Really, and chandeliers and a nice, I don't know if it's granite or quartz.
That's just a standard laminate countertop.
Laminate countertop stove. I mean, it looks very, very nice. So now, obviously, certain things come with the house and certain things don't come with the house, like, the accessories. But does the stove, refrigerator, and all that come with the house?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, majority of the time, our clients are definitely taking the full appliance packages with the homes that come with them. And
do they have choices on color and stuff?
Yeah, you can pick from black, white, stainless, black, stainless.
We stick build our house, and I always say, if you can build a house and stay married, you can do anything. We made up a really cool rule. I took care of everything on the outside of the house, and my wife took care of everything on the inside as far as choices of colors.
Perfect.
And all that.
Smart.
And it's worked for 40-some years now,
There you
so
go.
I just keep going. Okay, more pictures. All right.
Maybe what would be helpful is to explain a little further the difference between a single wide, a double wide, and then a modular
Go
home.
for it.
So I mean, it's I think we talked about there's HUD code and there's state code.
Okay.
So that's where I was talking about Erie and Niagara County being very, very adamant about people building state code construction. That's why it's much more expensive to build up there, and why we've been trying to push the HUD up there. So yeah, long story short, I mean, you just have about 10 to 15% more insulation and lumber built to to build a state code home.
What's the state code? 2x6?
You'll have 2x10 floor joists. You'll have 2x6 exterior supporting walls. You have 2x4 interior non-supporting
That's
walls.
how we built our house.
It's very heavy duty construction today, the state code, and it could even be called overkill. So that's why we say 10% less lumber and material to build a HUD home. They're still very heavy duty homes.
What about wind and storms and tornadoes and hurricanes?
Yeah. I don't have the exact specs in my head, but like I said, it's all built to code, and I've read the books, and it's in the hundreds, the wind ratings. And
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy duty stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, there's wind zones and thermal zones, and our homes were all built in compliance.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Energy Star efficient.
Good.
Yeah.
So there we got another floor plan for, I'm assuming, modular?
Yeah, we've been looking at some pictures of some really beautiful modular homes from our custom state code
Now,
factory.
do you have like templates for floor plans, or do you start from scratch?
Yeah, we can do either or.
Okay.
Our main thing is to guide people a little bit, as we have a lot of awesome plans to work with that we'll present to people based upon what they're looking for.
So Cynde, how many times do people change their minds and drive you crazy?
A lot,
A lot.
but they don't drive me crazy. It's neat. It's really cool to see. Sometimes people bring in their own drawings of how they want their home, and then they present it to us, and we can send it to the manufacturer, and then they establish the actual layout. If they could do identical, they will, but if they can't, they'll give them something similar, and it works out.
Yeah,
So-
my wife and I, we designed our own home. We had one mistake. That was it. Is that we forgot to put a closet in when people come in to hang up their coats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that foyer entrance is
Now it's
important.
like, where do I put my coat? I don't know.
Yeah.
But other than that, we did pretty well.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's good.
But I wouldn't recommend it. I would definitely get somebody else. All right, what do we got here? It looks like snow. It's not snow.
Yeah, this is reverting back to HUD housing. So this is something like if we were going to put a home somewhere down here in Chautauqua County that allows just a pier system foundation.
And a pier being what?
This is a 24-inch in diameter, 48-inch below frost pier foundation. So
Like a little column of some sort.
yeah,
Cement?
And those are very heavy duty, and the home will get rolled over that and blocked and leveled on it. This is HUD housing, of course, only, not modular. The axles and tires will be pulled away. It will be permanently set. It will be tied down, and either a block wall, like a crawl space, will go around it, or just a skirting, depending on the township and the
I don't know if you ever get this question, but can you move that house down the road if you wanted to put axles back and move it?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It'll cost you depending on
Well,
depending,
people
yeah.
ask all kinds of questions. What
Yep.
do we got here? This is a cement pad.
This is actually our lot in Fredonia. This is when we did a 2-story home on our campus, which we do have one there now for people to walk through. This was the floor of our basement. So this was before our prefab superior walls basement went in. This was the floor that we poured for it.
Yeah, there we're prepping to put the basement walls in.
Yeah.
Okay. And are there poured walls or block walls?
There you have it. There's your superior insulated basement walls, and there's 2 sections of the floor going up, prepping for a modular home to be placed on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we offer a poured or superior wall.
Block basement, whatever the consumer wants,
When,
we'll
when you
help
say
them with.
superior wall, that's a prefab wall?
Yep, that's what we're looking at right now. They come in 8-foot sections, and they're very
Wow,
handy.
that goes quick.
They're really the only foundation that I'm aware of that's going to come with a 15-year warranty on leaks and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well,
There's a picture of our factory.
wait a minute, this is not a model, this is a real house, right?
That's a real house.
I mean, this isn't a miniature, this is the real deal.
Yeah, that's a large-scale
How
picture.
big is that factory?
Huge.
Wow. Now, where's this located in Pennsylvania?
If this is Manorwood Homes, which it may be, this would be Emlenton, PA. Yeah, I would encourage going on YouTube and watching Manorwood Homes, factory videos. It's really cool. You see the whole inside of the factory, the guys building the houses.
So
and stuff.
basically, they're using weatherproof building that's moisture controlled.
Yeah.
And everything is nice and even and level, not like some places in my house. There's a little tilt in a couple places as years have gone by. So it's under the best conditions then. Wow.
Yeah, temperature, humidity controlled, and it goes through essentially an assembly line and in an order, and there's quality control stations and.
So basically, 2x6 there is the same 2x6 you would have stick built, right?
Absolutely.
So there's really no difference.
These homes use a little bit more materials to build than a typical stick built home. These are very heavy duty.
Okay, here's a picture of a floating house.
Yeah, floating. Our houses float. That's another benefit that comes along with doing
So you got
modular.
a crane. You got a crane put things in place, I'm assuming here.
Yeah, so this home's being craned down to its foundation. So this is when you're going to do a full foundation like a basement, we will typically need a crane to get it up on there.
All right, we're running low on time. One more picture, and then we're going to wrap things up here. Okay, and so go ahead. They're doing the finishing touches, shingling
Yeah,
and siding and all that.
This home's probably a couple weeks away from client being able to move into it.
All right, so let's wrap things up. We got about a minute and a half left. So I'm going to start backwards. Cynde, if somebody wants to call your office, how do they get a hold of you?
716-673-1366.
Okay, and we'll go to Nick. If they wanted somebody, how do they get a hold of you? Same number?
Yeah, same number. We're at, like she said, 673-1366, 716 area code. And, we're Owl Homes of Fredonia on Facebook. We have a pretty big following there. Owl Homes of Fredonia on YouTube. Tons of videos. If you want to really learn more about this, that's, watch the videos, and it's pretty cool. More calls.
Okay, El Presidente, you get to wrap it up.
Thank you very much for having us today,
Yeah.
and look forward to seeing you on our sales lot in Fredonia.
Okay, folks, if you want to look at an alternative in housing, this sounds like a great idea. It's right here in Chautauqua County. Our own people, our own place, someone you can talk to and get a lot of questions answered. So, guys, thanks. Ladies and germs,
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me today. And we're going to do this all again next Saturday morning right here on Access Chautauqua, 1301 on Spectrum. Hope you enjoyed the show, and have a great weekend. Bye now.